All right, I'm going to leave you 12 minutes. Start your TP cast. When would you paraphrase? If you don't understand. So if there's anything in here that you wouldn't understand, that's the only time you paraphrase. My guess is probably not, but perhaps. All right, has everybody seen the title? Has everybody seen the title and you've had a chance to react to the title? Okay, because the text is smaller. I want you to be able to get all the way through the TP cast as much as possible in the 12 minutes. I want this to become second nature. Because when you take the AP test in the spring, you're going to get a poem, and you've got 40 minutes to write an essay. So if you can TP cast it very quickly, then you can write a better essay. You can arrive at meaning faster. Things to focus on that you can identify clearly and then move on. Because I want you to respond to the final question before the 12 minutes is up in some fashion. And that should be familiar because you saw it yesterday. A minute and a half. All right. Wherever you are, stop. Okay. The reason for 12 minutes. When you take the AP test in the spring, you're going to have about 40 minutes per essay. You need to be able to get through these in about 12, start to finish. From the initial title all the way down to theme, because if you give yourself too much more time trying to figure the poem out, you're going to take away from writing time. So that's why I'm giving you 12 minutes. So let's start with the T. When you first encounter Hazel Tells Laverne, before you saw the poem, what did you think? What does that title mean outside of the context of the poem? And what do you think? Go ahead, Craig.
I just kind of took it as like, it's like just a really tame kind
How come?
It would be like conversation. But
Okay, so a boring conversation. Why would you think? Why do you attach it to boring?
well, just because it's like Hazel and Laverne. Like nowadays, you think that is like two old ladies.
Okay, let's look at these names. Hazel and Laverne. What do you think of those names?
Not used anymore.
No, they aren't used anymore. So what do you know about the ladies from their names?
They probably play bingo on Thursday.
They probably play bingo on Thursdays, okay? Sure. What else do you know about these ladies? Just from the title, go ahead. Yeah. Oh, you okay? Craig?
Curly, like kind of poofy hair.
Okay, you can kind of get a mental image of what a Hazel or a Laverne might.
Probably got like red hair.
Which one?
Like Laverne, kind of like dyed red. Yeah.
Okay, Laverne might have dyed red hair. Yeah. What else?
To me, it sounded kind of southern. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, but where are you getting Southern? Where do you get Southern, Caitlin?
I don't know. It's just like my first thought when I read that. I'm like, Hazel and Laverne, now they sound like they could be like black Southern women or something.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
what I
why.
That's what I
Like,
was
that's
thinking.
just my very first thought.
Okay, what made you think that, Levante?
Well, it was the poem, the way it has like mustard and like so help me God.
Okay, let's switch into the poem. Hang on, let's get rid of this. So, paraphrase. Did anybody need to paraphrase any line from this poem? Could paraphrasing help you with this one? A little. Why are you saying a little? What passages might? Mo?
That one part where it says, but so help me God. Like, that whole, she just squished in, so help me God, all together into one phrase. So if
I
you're
put
reading
that
it
in
straight
the
through,
poem.
you might need to recap.
Okay, so what kind of language is sometimes unclear? What is this? It's slang. There's what we in literary terms. It's what? Say that louder, Max. Dialect. This poem uses dialect. So earlier, Lily, when you said, do we need to paraphrase this? Not necessarily. If you get the dialect, then it's no big deal. But sometimes dialect can be confusing. Yeah?
What's a Howard Johnson's ladies' name?
Yeah, that
Does anybody know what a Howard Johnson's is? Brandon?
is like a hotel.
Yeah, it's motels. Hojos. You ever heard of Hojos?
No.
You ever seen that on the side of the road, like when you're traveling? Hojo? Yeah, it's like a Motel 8, Super 8, any of those kind of places. So yeah, that's a hotel chain.
So she'd be a maid.
So this would be a maid at a hotel. So paraphrasing. We didn't have to really paraphrase this. What did you pick out for connotation? Now we've written down dialect. The poem uses dialect. How does dialect function in this poem? What does it do for the poem? Lily?
It makes the speaker sound unintelligent.
How does it make the speaker sound unintelligent?
Well, it just uses like little like it's like not like proper grammar and maybe not really unintelligent. It's like of a different culture.
Okay, different culture. What else? What else? Hinsey?
To me, like kind of like how Caitlin said, it sounds like kind of like southern, like folk-like, and a lot of people associate that with lack of intelligence.
Okay.
Southern, like folk-like.
All right.
I think it gives it like an upbeat tone. It sounds because and then since there's like no periods, it just keeps like it sounds like upbeat and like hyper almost. Like there's no point where there's no point. I don't know how I'm trying to get this across.
She doesn't stop talking.
She doesn't stop talking. She doesn't necessarily, she doesn't sound stupid, but you can tell that she's probably uneducated from her dialect.
Excited almost because she just keeps running.
So what does dialect in this poem develop?
The attitude and
Max? Character. The character of who? The speaker. Who's the speaker? Hazel. Hazel tells Laverne, right? So the dialect helps characterize Hazel. What else is going on under connotation? What else did you pick out? AJ?
The
Okay, we have an illusion. Well, okay, here's the thing. We do have an illusion. How does that illusion function in the poem, AJ?
I mean, it's like he's saying, the frog's saying, you know, you can become a princess, you know, or you know, I'm a prince if you kiss me, you know, you can go to this ball. But at the end, she's just like me, a princess. Like she's doubting the fact that she could ever be a princess.
Okay, so what happens to the illusion?
It's ironic.
It's ironic. Did everybody get that? She flushes the frog prince down the toilet. This is irony. What type of irony is this? It's situational. Why is it situational irony? Because in the traditional fairy tale, we have this female who is happy to meet the frog prince because he makes her a princess. When Hazel finds this frog, she interprets this kiss me as something perverted, and she whacks him with a broom and flushes him, or mop, and flushes him down the toilet.
Doesn't that in a way kind of prove her in like her lack of intelligence? Because normally, like if we're gonna go by the story tale, normally a person in that situation would be like, talking frog says that it can make me a princess.
That makes them
Give it a
stupid.
shot. But in her case, I mean, just by the way that she's speaking, and then she turns down the frog, and she takes his offer as perversion rather than.
Turning down the frog doesn't mean she's unintelligent.
Yeah,
I'm-
Okay, well, hang on. Okay, wait a second. Hang on. All right, let's look at what's happening. Okay, hang on. What Mo is saying is that this kind of shows off her unintelligence because she could have been a princess.
Yeah.
Caitlin, you and Levante disagree. Why?
Just because if a frog is there telling you to be a princess, are you really going to believe the frog? A talking
She's
frog.
using logic.
Okay, hang on. She becomes very logical.
Like there's a frog.
I wouldn't believe a talking
perversion?
frog. I'd
I'm
probably
not gonna
do
kiss
something close to the same thing.
All right, hang on. Drake, what were you going to add?
But it's a talking frog. I mean,
Like, how do you associate that with
the
perversion?
fact that the
All
frog,
right, hang on. Just wait, one at a time. Go ahead.
the fact that the frog is talking might make what he's saying true. Because frogs
Or it
don't
might make
talk
her
and she
crazy.
wouldn't turn into a princess, but a frog is talking.
Okay, well, now we have this. The fact that the frog is actually talking to her lends credibility to his actually being a prince, a frog prince. Jacoby?
I don't know, I just feel like my first reaction if a frog was talking to me would be freak out and flush it down the toilet. Not like, come here, let me kiss you when I see if you're magical. No.
Well, what freaks her out?
So that is talking.
It says, kiss me. So what does she immediately do? She calls him a pervert. This little green pervert. Kiss me. Oh, whacked him with a mop and flushed him in the toilet. Craig?
Is everyone ignoring the fact that it came from the toilet? Why would you kiss it?
Maybe this goes back to...
How would you?
And she is a cleaning lady.
Well, I mean,
So she would abhor dirt, and this thing did come from the sewer. Or she supposes it did. It did come out of the
But
toilet.
she's associating it immediately with perversion. Like she doesn't give it a second thought as to the thing is talking.
What if she was going to?
No, she just thinks of it as perversion and whacks it and flat.
Okay. Well, okay. Now let's look at the reason this is in here. You're right. This is all irony because she's acting as though this talking frog is what? Well, but before that, what emotion does she not show? Fear or surprise or anything.
Yeah, that's why she was surprised.
Like she was like, oh my gosh, she's so
But that's just, I mean, that's like mild surprised, but then it's not, you know.
She's like more surprised about the fact that she could be a princess than
Yeah.
that it's talking frog.
Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on from there. What do you mean by that? How does that work?
I mean, she's not surprised that there's a frog talking to her. She's more surprised, like, wow, you think I could be a princess? Yeah, what the frog say?
Where are you getting that? What lines in the poem are you getting that from?
And how can I be a princess? Being a princess. Well, my mouth drops all the way to the floor. And I mean, she is a cleaning lady.
Chauvinistic?
Yeah, but not as superior. I don't know what word I'm thinking of. Insecure. It is.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then so like the woman is just insecure.
So you're alluding to this already. Good. Hang on to that for a moment. All right, let's look at this. What's being used here when we see me a princess, me a princess? Repetition. How is this different each time? It's repeated, but there's a small difference. And you guys are saying she's more surprised by the fact she could be a princess than she is by a talking frog. Support that using repetition and how it's on the page.
It seems like when she said it the first time, it's like she's still in the story. When she says it down here, it's like she's talking to herself. Like, be a princess.
Why? Why does it seem like that?
Because of how, yeah.
Not only that, but there's
The way it's set up in the lines too.
Plus the story's over.
Okay, you all set up a bunch of stuff at once. So you said that, one, there's a break here. So we have a line break. Who said shift? Lily, where's the shift?
I thought it was between like the story and then me and then a princess. Because it kind of like, she kind of like finishes her story and then it's like she gets to like talk to her. Like it's just like he's finishing her story and then she's like.
Okay, so you have a shift here, right? Okay, I do think there's a shift there. I think there's another shift. Max?
I think it's like once on the nose.
Yeah.
So then that's when like you think it's a setup for like the classic fairy tale, but then she's like, well, I screamed, then I hit it, and I called her a pervert, and then I flushed it up the toilet.
Okay, so we have a shift from classic fairy tale, modern take on it, how dare you ask me to kiss you, and then we have this other shift. Do what?
Like her fantasy.
It's not her fantasy, though, because you all are saying that she doesn't think she can be a princess. Anna?
It's more like I took it as more like she's scoffing at him. He thought I could be a princess. Like, what a ridiculous idea.
So what's significant about this break?
That's reality.
This is reality. How does the line break show that this is reality? At least for her, for the speaker. Physically on the page, what does it do?
It's like me on one line and then a princess. Yeah.
Me on one line, a princess on the other. Visually and physically, what happens? They're separated. Now they're different. Up here it's the same. Down here they're different.
So there's like the fairy tale, like Max was saying, it was setting up, and there it's like actual like reality.
Sure, because we've had these two shifts. Okay. What's the tone of this? AJ?
I'm kind of bewildered, like she can't like believe it happened, and it's also very cynical because she's like, me, a princess. She can't believe it's, she doesn't have,
Bewilderment. It's cynical. Me, a princess. That is cynical. Sure. Where are you getting bewildered?
kind of just like the whole like even when she says me, a princess, like oh my god, and just the whole fact that a frog like just let's see here, and all of a sudden pops a big frog. It must have come out as like just kind of like, she's just kind of like what the heck, what just happened?
Okay. Good. So then we've already done shift. You guys pointed those out. What about, do we need to re-look at the title? Did the title, Hazel Tells Laverne, change at all in any significant fashion? Okay. So theme, and I've asked you to look at this, because yesterday we connected the poem to American culture. How does this again connect to modern American culture? Emily?
Okay, when I read this or whatever, and talking about American culture or whatever, I don't know if it's right, but when I read it, like, I thought of it as, okay, this girl is a maid. Usually we don't consider, like, maids, like, super high class, like, or whatever. She's talking with, like, a really country slang, and we don't think people who talk with a country accent, like, are, like, super intelligent either. We usually make fun of them and stuff like that. And, like, how she's talking about, like, how can I be a princess, like me a princess or whatever, I think it's, like, considering, like, it seems like she's like lower class or whatever. So it's like we don't consider people of lower class to be considered royalty in America. Does that make sense at all?
Okay, so what we're talking about here, class differences. Yeah. What is this saying about class differences? What is this poem saying about class differences in in modern American culture?
Like if you're
Max?
I was gonna say it kind of makes it seem impossible for her to become a princess. She doesn't believe it. The American dream is that you can go from being to royalty, whatever you want to be, but she doesn't believe it.
What are you guys going to comment on this? What do you think about this? Go ahead, Colby.
I was gonna say how like yesterday we were kind of talking about like how we thought people who weren't as high on the class as us were like under us, but it's almost like she.
So wait a second, hang on. Where did you get that from song to a waitress from yesterday?
Because he's like talking down to her.
Because he talks down to the waitress. Okay, and it's other people talking down to the waitress. Okay, go ahead.
And then like the maid, like she like almost believes it. Like it's not like, oh, people are talking down about me, but she still thinks she's like she thinks she's not good enough. It's not like the American people don't think she's good enough. Like
like they don't think they're good enough.
yeah, she doesn't think she's good
Like
enough either.
the other one was like kind of like the customers view, and this is kind of like
Yeah.
the lower class people's view of themselves.
And it's kind of like
the
this.
same.
Okay. Good. Reese?
Like going along with like this or whatever, like I imagine like whoever this is, the speaker, like telling the story to someone and at the end being like laughing about it, like me, a princess, like that sounds like impossible or whatever, like going back to that. So like that has something to do with the tone of the thing or whatever.
Okay, yeah, I mean this disbelief. Me, a princess. Two more comments. AJ and then, well, okay, three. AJ, Craig, and then Brittany. Go ahead.
You know, the customer was talking down to the waitress and telling her a waitress. She's talking down on herself. Like, you know, it's just like me, a princess.
Mm-hmm.
She's being down on herself, so it's kind of like that mentality going back to like the possibility of changing class.
Okay. Craig and then Brittany.
Well, I was gonna say like with the frog, I kind of took it as almost somebody coming in to sweep you out of the situation that you're in, like the class that you're in, just offering you a way out of it. And because he said kiss, you know, she hits him, and I took it as almost like that one movie with Julia Roberts or whatever. She's a prostitute.
Pretty Woman.
Yeah, I took it as something like that. Like.
Well, okay, wait a second. Just because that's a very popular American movie. That'd be part of American culture, right? Everybody knows Pretty Woman.
I don't.
Really? Julia Roberts, she's the prostitute. Richard Gere sweeps her off her feet. They fall in love. So this is part of American culture. Craig, what does this poem say about movies like Pretty Woman?
Well, then it's a load of crap. You take it as.
Okay, wait a second. Okay, you just said a load of crap. Let's be more academic. Tied to the poem, because no, you can tie that exact quote to the poem. Where in the poem would you see a load of crap? He came from the toilet, right? He came from the toilet, and it's in the sewer, right? He's on the side of the bowl of the toilet, and it came from the sewer. Sure, this is very literally coming from a load of crap. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, so like when I thought of that, I took it as like not only where it came from and everything he was saying, but as soon as he does it, he goes, just kiss me, and I took that as almost like the boss, and she's like just some secretary, and he's like, all right, you can work your way up if you do this, and then she denied that.
Okay.
And took the class, like stayed in her class just because she knows that he's
Okay. So in other words, she sees through it. Oh, yeah. You're gonna promote me if I kiss you. I see how this is going. Yeah, right. I'm not a princess. Sure. Brittany, last word, and then we got to move on. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, going kind of away from the social class, it could be almost like women in inferiority almost, because I mean, if you look at it, it's kind of stereotypical because the woman is the one inferior, and it's like it's a frog coming out of a toilet that's offering her this new life, and it's supposed to be like a male figure, and kind of, and in a way, he's still perceived as like higher than her, and he's a frog.
Even though, as Ashley's pointed, he's coming out of the toilet. Sure. All right. So you can see how different aspects of American culture are reflected in this poem. Is anybody confused about how we're doing that? Okay. Now, tell me why we're doing something like this. What is that? Katie, what do we have to do now?
The prompt. We have to, hold on,
Figure out.
research. Okay, hold on.
You don't have to read it off the board.
We can take culture from the Elizabethan period and then relate it to like Shakespeare and the works of art.
Okay, so that's our fun little segue. Now, here's what we are focusing on today. We're going to make the shift into the poetry we need for your task prompt. That's why you need your book today. There are two poems that we're going to look at. Now, the two poems we look at are technically pre-Elizabethan, but they're early English Renaissance. We're going to do the same thing, the TP cast, with each of the poems. Okay? And then, after you've done the TP cast and understand each poem, what I want you to do is, in your notes, where you should be keeping notes on the reading from Shakespeare. Correct? We know where we're keeping notes on that?
Like the little half page that I go like
Yeah, the two-column thing that we did with, all right. You would want to keep a connection as to how these two poems would connect with the other informational text that you're reading. Is everybody clear on what we need to do?
So like basically we're doing what we've been doing. We're taking logic, like the things that actually happened in history, and tying it to the story. Instead of taking the art and tying it to the culture.
Yes. So now, okay, did you guys hear what Craig said? He said that very softly. So you should be reading those passages from Shakespeare and taking notes. In other words, you should be finding out facts and stuff about the culture. Now we're going to encounter art from it. We're going to encounter art from this period, and now you need to start making that connection, because that's what your paper's on. I think the poems start on page 150. So make it to page 150. Let me double check real quick. Yeah, 150 and 151. All right, now I do have the I've got a handout that you can do this on. You don't have to do the TP cast in your notes because I want to collect them. I have a sheet for it. One side is whoso lists to hunt, and the other side is divers doth use.
Do we need this though? To like.
I would keep it out probably. You won't need it at first because you're going to do the poetry. You're going to do the poetry first.
But then at the end we're going to compare how it relates.
Yes. Now, question before. Okay, a couple things. One, you may work with a partner. If you've been working with a partner, you may still work with a partner, but everybody has to do his or her own TP cast sheet. Does that make sense? I want you writing your own stuff down, because if you want to use one of these in your paper, then what you're going to have to do is have your own notes. You can't just rely on somebody else's notes. What section and why are we probably going to end up using on TP cast that we haven't used yet? Why would we paraphrase now? Because it's an older modern English, yes. Because some of the words you're going to encounter are archaic. So you're not going to know them. Some of them are at the bottom. If you need to define words, and my guess is you should be focusing specifically on vocabulary, since this is older. You can use the dictionaries on the computer, but if you're online, I only want you on dictionary sites. Okay, so really focus on words and their connotations. For lines like that.
Well, I mean, I get it. Like, he doesn't want to draw from the deer. He's moving on. But I mean, he's saying that, like, I will not.
He will not what?
Do we have to do we have to write down the paraphrase if we just?
I know it's awful.
Yes, he's saying he's not gonna.
Only the parts that you paraphrase.
Can we just write overall what we figured that it means?
At least pick a couple lines that you paraphrased and show some of the lines that were difficult for you to paraphrase. Or that were difficult that you paraphrased and understood.
So I won't kill the deer?
Yeah, that's what I got from it. That he's not going to kill the deer. Because fainting, I think.
Sorry, so what? Say that now again, what you were saying.
All this is just saying is, like, he doesn't want to kill the deer, or he's not going to, or whatever. But as she goes running, then he will follow.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have for now.
He'll still hunt her, but he's not going to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Coming toward you.
Yeah, I really don't.
How's this going?
This is what I've read. It really doesn't sound like it's alluding to like anything.
I'm one of those people that, what?
Farthest coming behind.
Okay. What's that?
Farthest the least skilled.
Okay, sure, it could be the least skilled. What's cometh?
Don't know.
Okay. Have you read, like, King James Bible?
No, I have not.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. The TH is just an S. Just means comes.
Okay.
Like in Shakespeare, when they say, "How doth he go?" Doth. It just means does. This is just comes.
Okay.
So what's it saying? Put it in your own words now.
I am one of them that the farthest come behind.
Okay.
But the least skilled come behind.
Change the syntax. There's some. Okay. See, look. Because, do you recognize the form?
No. Is it a sonnet?
It is a sonnet. So in the sonnet, what is he going to have to do to keep sonnet form?
Gonna have to rhyme.
He's going to have to keep the rhyme scheme.
Yeah.
So what has he done in this line? I am one of them that farthest cometh behind. Why does behind have to come at the end?
Because it rhymes with.
Because it rhymes with hind. So what he's done is change the word order. So to paraphrase it and to make more sense of it, we would never say the farthest cometh behind. I'm one of those that farthest cometh behind. That means what? Change the word order.
I'm one of them that I'm still at a loss.
What do you think it means when he says that farthest cometh behind?
that he is one of the ones that is least skilled.
Okay, least skilled.
In
So what?
comparison to everybody else.
So where would that put him if he's going somewhere? I guess. If he's the farthest cometh behind.
The very end.
The very end. In other words, what's he saying? I'm one of those that what?
That's the last person.
I'm one of those that's the last person to show up.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm lagging behind everybody else.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But because and see, that's why you end up paraphrasing, because you've got to realize when the syntax is messed up or changed because he has to preserve rhyme.
Okay.
How's it going, Caitlin? Good?
I was kind of confirmed.
Okay.
First, 2 straight. It's not what before.
So you get stuck here?
I think it means that, like I'm not leading. I'm in the back of the pack, so I don't have to shoot.
Yeah, that's, yeah, you've got it.
You just do tomorrow.
We're going to see what people have come up with before you leave, but then whatever you don't finish in class, we'll finish for homework and bring back. What about past that?
Yeah, I don't get that. That's just, like,
Which one? After this?
Yeah, I don't get it.
We just heard you say it was about a woman. We thought it was legit about hunting.
Well, but it is legitimate about hunting.
Like, legitimately about hunting
We thought
deer.
the theme was like had to do with hunting. I mean, because hunting relates to Elizabethan. They had a hunt.
Yeah, like they always.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. They are hunters. But look at the last 4 lines.
Yeah, it's an allusion to a woman. But it does a woman.
It sure is.
So it's about a real woman?
Couldn't it be? What? Okay.
Well, like when
I don't understand the
theme
theme
as I am, does it mean like does Caesar own the animals, or like does Caesar like own the woman who like is like a mistress of his?
Look, yeah, I mean.
Caesar wanted the woman, but Henry already had her. Okay, but I don't understand like what the theme could possibly be. Like, don't waste your time.
Well, I mean, what is he doing? What's the speaker of the poem doing?
He's hunting.
He's hunting. What's he hunting?
He's hunting a doe, but
Okay.
they're too fast and he can't get it. But he keeps trying.
Okay, so you're alluding to theme. You're talking about things that you could reword and say the theme. What's this poem about?
Never giving up.
Never giving up? Maybe.
That's what I took it as. Like keep trying.
Tie it more specifically to what's in the poem. It could be about never giving up, but it's also about what?
Hunting. Wait, are you talking about hunting or love?
Well, what's the poem talking about?
Well, I think it's about hunting, but you said it's about a woman.
Don't give up love.
Don't give up on love. That's a good one. Is that right?
Well, you'd have to find that in the poem. But it's more about hunting. And think about what you said about the deer being too fast and getting away. And look at the last 4 lines of what's around the deer's neck.
Wait, hunting's like food. Never mind.
Metaphors and symbols. Mr. Gillis, can you explain me what's with the camera? Like, will reality crumble if you say?
Yes, you're all on candid camera. It's a practical joke I'm playing. No, because this is for the Gage Foundation, they're filming me teaching part of the module, which is what you're doing today. Find a pausing point. Find a pausing point. In about a minute, I want to talk about what we've done and make sure we know where we're going before we leave. Yeah.
So pretty much, like, to me, sounds like he was like, oh, come with me, and I'll show you this. And then it was like, oh, okay, well, I'll come with you. And then they figure out where, like, he wants them to go, and then they ditch it.
No, I don't think so. Because it doesn't talk about the other hunters ditching him.
But he's last.
Right. But figure out why he's last.
Well, I know it's about a girl, too, because deers don't wear diamonds.
Right. And it's also significant what this says. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
What's your stuff?
I found my pausing. I found my pausing.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, turn your computer screens off. Pause where you are. I want to hear some of the stuff that you're finding. First off, is paraphrasing helping? Somebody comment on paraphrasing, because we haven't really had to do that yet. This is the first one. Colby?
Yes, it is helping.
How?
Because if you didn't paraphrase it, I feel like you would just kind of skim over some stuff and be like, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't not know what it means, and then just kind of like assume you know what it means.
Okay. How are you figuring out you've got to paraphrase to understand it? What's the main thing you got to do? What are you doing when you're paraphrasing? Do what?
Looking up words.
Okay, you're looking up words. You're defining words, yeah. What else? What else do you notice you have to do? Not only define words that we either don't use anymore or have two meanings. Dimitri? Reordering the words. Why are the words out of order? No, not because it's okay. Because who said that? Lauren, why? Why are we? Why is the word order different?
He has to keep his rhyme because it's like a sonnet.
Because these are sonnets, he's got to change his syntax to keep the rhyme sometimes. So that's why you're having to reorder it. Good. Okay, here's the $10,000 question. Can anybody yet connect what you've read from the excerpt of Shakespeare? Can you connect what you've read in there to the poem? AJ?
Maybe how like everyone's really based on like finding women. Like everyone's very.
Okay, well hang on. Have you found that in the text? In what you've read?
How it's like a hunt. Like, you know, it's just like who wants to hunt? You know, I know where it is a hunt. Hey, whoever wants a girl, I know where one is.
Okay, and what does that come from in your reading? Specifically, Colby?
Well, what do you mean? Like, what does the girl come from?
Or has anything in your reading? Can you connect? Can we connect yet? Have you read enough of it yet?
Packet?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know.
In the packet. Can anybody find something yet?
No.
Not yet. How far are you through the first page? Fantastic. Well. Okay, you were out yesterday. I'll get you one. All right. Well, here's what you need to do. If you got through the TP cast of one of the poems, go ahead and finish that. Go ahead and do the next one tonight. To answer this question, to go ahead and answer this question and to start connecting it to the task, you're going to have to get through that Shakespeare packet that I gave you.
Tonight?
Well, not necessarily tonight, but it's not that slow of a read. And this is, you know, you had it yesterday, so you could have read it last night as well. But you're going to have to look through that packet and start making that two-column note, fill out the two-column method of notes if you're going to do this assignment. Yeah.